Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, today we are back for another Love is Blind review. Guys, honestly, when I tell you watching this season of Love is Blind has been like kind of painful, I'm not even gonna lie, because it's just bland. It's bland, it's really not, it just isn't giving, it really isn't. And honestly, I'm trying my best with these reviews to make it seem more interesting, whatever. So, hopefully the people that are watching, you might enjoy it or find it entertaining. But this season is just, it's a chop. It really is a chop. Before we get into the video, guys, make sure you like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new to my channel. Turn on your post notification as well so that you don't miss any of my uploads, things like that. Also, again, guys, as I've said before, any video ideas, things that you want to see me do, just comment it down below. I'm just kind of doing a bunch of different things. I'm really just doing whatever I find interesting. If there's anything specifically or whatever that you want to see from me, things like that, or if you want me to talk about anything, like any other shows, things like that, give other reviews, things like that, just let me know and I can make videos about them. But yeah, we're just gonna get straight into this review. I believe I am reviewing episodes 7 to 9. I think, yeah. So oh gosh, Milo, move. Guys, my cat is, move out of the way. Sorry, he's literally trying to chomp on the tripod. Again, guys, what I'm probably gonna say in these reviews will probably be based upon chronological order, again, from what was happening in the episodes. I'll try to put it more organized by couples. But yeah, majority of what I'm gonna say is kind of gonna be in chronological order. So again, I apologize if I'm kind of going back and forth between certain couples. It's literally just me saying my opinions based off of what's happening while I'm watching the episodes, because that's literally sorry, hold on. Milo, just get out. Ugh, sorry guys, my cat is always doing the most. Anyways, let me open my notes app. So first I'm going to start again with David and Lauren. So basically, I realized when I was watching back the footage while I was editing my last review, I don't really properly explain the things that I'm talking about. I kind of just give out my thoughts. I don't really explain what exactly I'm talking about, so I'm going to try and do that. So basically, Lauren and David end up having this conversation. I think it was on a boat that they were on while they were at their honeymoon in Honduras. And basically, David brings up the fact that he has friends, right, who apparently know somebody who Lauren used to be with, or who she used to see, who she used to sleep with, something like that. Or someone who she used to be dating, whatever. Basically, he brings that up and he says how it makes him uncomfortable. He doesn't really know how to go about the situation because he doesn't like the fact that his friends are saying apparently Lauren was with this guy a week before, or very recently, before she went onto the show. So I guess in his head it's computing is she coming on here for different motives? She's not coming on here for the right reason. And I'll be honest, I really don't like this type of conversation because what's her name, Taylor, also tried to do it with Daniel as well. But this whole thing that these lot try to do where it's oh, I can't tell if you came here for the right reasons though, or something like that. Let's be honest, yeah, you guys are on a reality TV show. Let's just be honest, yeah. Anyone who is coming on reality TV, the main MO of you coming on reality TV is for you to gain some sort of visibility, to gain a platform, get fame. Let's just be honest, that is what it is. So I'm I really don't get this thing that they try to do this season of, oh, yo, did you just come here for clout? Stuff like that, because to me it's just dumb. It's you guys are all on TV anyways. You all are on here for on a reality TV show. Let's not pretend the main reason why you're here is to find love. Obviously, yes, that's the premise of the show, but at the same time, we all, this is literally the 8th season. We all know being on Love is Blind gets you some sort of virality, gets you some sort of fame or some clout. So let's just be honest about that. But yeah, I really don't like how they keep doing that this season. They keep trying to have conversations about who's here for the right reasons and da-da-da. And my main problem with David bringing this up is because this isn't the first time that he brings it up, because he continues to bring it up multiple times throughout these 3 episodes, which was quite frustrating and irritating to watch. but I'll get into that later. The thing that irritates me about why he does this is because of the fact that David says himself that he wasn't yes, he was single, he wasn't in a relationship, he wasn't in a committed relationship before he came here, but you were in the streets. Like, you were in the streets, you were dating, you were entertaining different people, whatever, things like that. So why is it now a problem when you find out that Molly allegedly was with somebody, or she slept with somebody maybe like a month before she came on the show? And I'll be honest, yeah, I don't know why David is acting like the concept of like spinning the block, or like spinning the block on your ex is like such a foreign thing that like he's never heard of or something. Like, let's be real, a lot of people have spun the block on their ex before. Like, it's not that serious. Like, and Lauren literally said herself as well, this guy was never in, like, if she was never actually in a relationship with him. It was more of like a friends with benefits type of situation. And for some reason, David just cannot move past it. And it's ridiculous to me because, especially someone like David, he has said it himself that he be around, like he be in the streets. Like, am I supposed to believe that you weren't out here also spreading your legs to, oh, sorry, am I also supposed to believe that you weren't out here, like, you know, doing whatever, spreading your legs too? Oh, you know, she was entertaining and sleeping with guys before she came on the show, because I came onto the show, I was single and I hadn't been in a relationship for 4 years, so I was expecting everyone else to do the same. First off, your expectations of whoever was supposed to come into this experiment, you were supposed to really eliminate that, because that kind of defeats the point of the process. Like, the point of the process is that you are interacting with different types of people. You might interact with somebody who who was just in a serious relationship like a year ago. You may interact with somebody who has, you know, just been kind of casually dating around before they came on the show, things like that. You can't really have, I don't know, like, you can't have this really like super idealistic expectation of whoever it is that you're supposed to date, right? I don't get how you can be so uncomfortable knowing that she slept with someone maybe however long before you came on the experience, right? But you were also out here dating, you were sleeping with people, whatever, before you came on the show, because you said, oh, you were single for 4 years. Am I supposed to believe you were abstinent for 4 years? Because I don't believe that. Like, whoever you were sleeping with, whatever, were they not women? That's the thing. That's what never makes sense to me, is about men who get around, or men who are just hoes in general. It doesn't make sense, because who you're sleeping with are women. You are entertaining with, you are having sex with women. So, like, you guys are simultaneously packing up or counting up bodies too. So it doesn't make sense to me how all of a sudden now you're uncomfortable that she is doing the same thing that you were doing. Like, that's why I'm like, to me it kind of reeks of misogyny, low key. Like, and I just feel like in general, like, circling back to that whole thing of like getting onto people, oh, you're not here for the right reasons, whatever. I feel like both David and Taylor, what they did, because I didn't talk about the thing that Taylor was upset about at the end of episode 6. I didn't talk about it in my last review because, quite frankly, I just didn't feel the need to really speak on it, because what is there to speak on? She thought that the guy followed her. And the thing is as well, you guys live in the same city. Like, I just don't understand. Like, it's like, literally, it's not that crazy of a thing. Like, if he happened to follow you like sometime before the show happened, like, it's just not that serious. Like, people from the same city follow each other all the time. I don't know. And I just was kind of confused as to what she was so upset about. If he doesn't even remember him following you, why would he remember any sort of information about you? Like, I don't know, to me it just didn't make sense. But I felt like she was genuinely trying to harp onto that because of the fact that both her and also David as well, David, what he's doing to Lauren, I feel like it's both of them, because they aren't actually happy with the choices or like the people who they've ended up with from this process. I feel like David doesn't want to just admit the fact that he's probably just not attracted to Lauren. And again, this is not me saying that Lauren is ugly. I think Lauren is very pretty. But we all heard what David said when he was talking about his type in women, what type of women he goes for, things like that. So I wouldn't find it shocking if he would go through all these hoops just to have an excuse to be able to cut it off with Lauren or get her to break up with him instead of him having to cut it off with her instead. And I also think with Taylor as well, I feel like to a certain extent Taylor didn't get what she expected, I guess, in terms of physically what Daniel looks like, so she wanted to try and do the whole Instagram thing. I just don't like, I don't know, I felt like to me it was like you kind of just really pulled that out of thin air, like you just got it out of nowhere and you could just kind of threw it, you kind of threw it at the wall and hope that it stuck. Like that's what it gave to me, and I'm just like, I don't know, like I feel like both of them, it was just weird to me. I'm just like, what is your angle here? And it just kind of felt like, okay, are you just not happy with your choice for real? Like, is that actually what it is, and you just can't, you're not comfortable enough or confident enough to say that, so you'd rather do all this instead? Like, I don't know. So now we get into the parts where they all meet each other at the honeymoon. They have like a little gathering for like the night, and they have drinks and they talk and, you know, do like a little shindig or whatever. And David, I can't remember who was asking him exactly, but somebody asked David, like, how did you know that Lauren was the one? And David's response to that question, I did not like it at all. I don't know if other people clocked it, but he said that the reason why he knew Lauren was the one was because, you know, the moment that she told him about her feelings for him, that was when he knew, like, that he had to pick up her or whatever, something. Basically, to me, it just read as, oh, she said she liked me, so I picked her instead. Like, I just didn't like it, because that answer says nothing about what about Lauren's character made you fall in love with her. Like, it's just not endearing either to say that, like, oh, she told me she liked me, so yeah, you know, I knew she was the one. Like, ugh. Like, I don't know, it just gave, like, you know, when like a guy thinks they're the prize, that's what it felt like to me. And I was just like, that answer wasn't cute. And like, people are going, oh, I'm like, what is R? Like, there's nothing R about this. Like, he didn't even give a real answer, and the answer that he did give was nothing like endearing at all. Like, it was pretty side eye, like, honestly. And also another thing that happened as well was that David kept going around and asking like different couples. I think he went to Monica, and then he also went to, I can't remember what other couple he went to, but he was like asking around, like asking if everyone had had sex, because him and Lauren hadn't had sex yet, I guess, because Lauren just wasn't ready to take that step. And I feel like this is part of the reason why David continues to harp on about this thing about like Lauren apparently dating or being with some guy before she came on the show. I feel like he continues to harp on this thing because of the fact that Lauren didn't give up the tuntun to him. Like, Lauren didn't give up the tuntun, he didn't get what he wanted. And I feel like part of his mentality is also of this thing of like, well, you are like someone who I wouldn't even usually go for, right? You're the teacher, you're not physically like what I go for. Like, I usually go for like 10 out of 10 Instagram plastic baddies, do you know what I mean? You're not even really like my type, and then you want to be all stush and not even give up the tuntun on the honeymoon. I feel like that is part of his mentality. Like, that is the reason why he now keeps going with this shit that he's doing to Lauren. And I feel like also to a certain extent what he's doing to Lauren, like, I feel like I would start categorizing it as emotional abuse. I'll be honest, yeah, people say emotional like abuse is a strong word, but genuinely, that to watching it was honestly like pretty painful, pretty uncomfortable. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, why are you letting this guy continuously antagonize you like this? Like, it was just quite ridiculous. And it's like, she's quite literally telling you what the truth is, and you are saying every time that you don't really believe her. Like, it was very ridiculous, like, honestly. And you have Lauren here just trying to tell him, oh, I love you, I want to get married to you. Why do you still want to get married to him after he's treated you like that? Like, and she reveals in a conversation as well, like is it an argument? I don't know if you even want to call it a quarrel in the last episode, because David basically says that, oh, I don't think, you know, because they were planning to have Lauren meet David's friends and for them to have a conversation and get to know her. But David actually says, no, my friends actually, they want to cancel. Like, I just feel like it would be too uncomfortable, things like that. So they end up cancelling, and then Lauren is basically like, what the hell? Like, why are we cancelling? Like, I wanted to obviously talk and, hear their side and, clear this whole thing up, which is also another thing which is just strange, because if you are so hell-bent in this whole thing of your friends not being liars and them not misconstruing things, why wouldn't you want to get to the bottom of it? Hear her side, hear their side. They both can verify what the truth is so that you can actually move forward, right? Like, if you actually want to move forward and get married to this woman like you say you do, you would want to have this conversation, no? But he doesn't. So he says, okay, they're not coming anymore. So Lauren is obviously confused, like, why aren't they coming anymore? I wanted to clear stuff up. And he says, oh, because they would be uncomfortable, things like that. And Lauren just gets frustrated, because then it's like, now what? We're not actually going to be able to move forward from this. How are we supposed to get married when, like, you essentially don't even trust me? And honestly, Lauren, you are giving yourself the answer. Like, you are giving yourself the answer, because she asked him in the same conversation, like, so do you still want to actually marry me, things like that. And David is just kind of giving these fluff answers, like, not really, he's kind of just beating around the bush. But honestly, like, it's leaning towards no. Like, he just doesn't want to. He don't want to, like, get married to you. He don't like you. He don't want you. And it's like Lauren is just there, almost like trying to pine for him, or like trying to beg it. And I'm just like, why are you still begging it to this man? He is telling you the quiet part out loud. He is quite literally telling you, I don't want it. I don't want to be in this. And also another thing that is revealed in the conversation as well is the fact that David has been staying in another place for the past week. So Lauren has literally been in the apartment, their shared apartment that Love is Blind or whatever gives them. She's been in it by herself. He hasn't been there. Like, he's staying somewhere else. I'm like, so he's not even really properly doing the experiment with you anymore, and yet you're still here trying to ask him if he wants to get married and, like, whatever. Like, like, I never try to do this thing of, like, holding women to a higher standard than men, because I've been on David's neck since the beginning. I did not like him. I don't like him. He looks like JD Vance. He's just bloody annoying. I don't like him. But, like, Lauren, at the same time, it's hard for me to have sympathy for you. Like, my sympathy is so capped, because he is showing you red flag upon red flag, and she's just like, I don't know, it's like her head is just up in the clouds. Like, come back down to earth. Come back down to earth and actually see what is in front of you. This man is not treating you the way you should be treated. Like, let's just be honest. And then the fact that he hasn't even been staying with you either, he can't even sleep next to you because of this alleged information that his friends have fed him, is just ridiculous. And another thing that is crazy about this whole situation as well is that Lauren even brings David to, like, this Soul Cycle class or whatever, like a workout class that she goes to, and they do the class together, and her friends are also there, and David meets Lauren's friends, they all talk and things like that, and David brings up this thing of the guy who she allegedly slept with, was with, whatever, just basically his gripe with that situation. He was saying it to her friends, and her friends were backing Lauren up completely, being like, this guy is a non-factor. Like, they were never actually together. We never actually met him. Every single person who Lauren has actually been in a relationship with, we have met them. Like, basically just confirming that this isn't significant. This guy, if anything, whatever he's saying is just lies because he wants to be on TV. He just is a clout chaser. And it's like David is still going with this whole mentality of, oh, well, but my friends. Like, shut up. Like, bro, how is Lauren telling you, her friends are telling you as well, what the actual situation is, what's going on, and you're still going with my friends? Sorry, why are you trying to lead with this idea that your friends can't be misinformed or that they can just be lying? Like, Like, yeah, maybe your friends are lying. Maybe your friends do have the information wrong. Maybe they don't know what they're talking about. And the funniest thing is as well, David keeps saying, oh, I know this guy, I know this guy. So if you know him, why don't you speak to him? That's the funniest thing. If he's an acquaintance or whatever, you're a friend of a friend of a friend, why don't you just talk to him if you know him? Oh yeah, I see him at the beach all the time. Talk to him then. Talk to him and ask him what's tea if it's bothering you that much. But instead, you want to get third party information from Tweedledee and Tweedledum, whoever your friends are. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's quite ridiculous. And it's like he continuously to torment Lauren with this shit. And I'm just like, Lauren, why are you even taking it anymore at this point? Why are you even taking it? You're letting JD Vance literally terrorize you for no reason. What is the point? This ain't worth it. Like, I'm so sorry. No man is worth that much stress. I'll tell you that right now. Like, no. Like, you just met this guy how long ago? And he's already causing you this much stress. You're crying yourself to sleep, all this stuff. Lock it off. Lock it off. Yeah, that's basically just my entire opinion on David and Lauren. They need to break the fuck up. Like, I'm so tired of that situation. This same conversation that he keeps having. You two are going in circles. Like, it's genuinely like exhausting to watch. It's quite irritating actually, because Lauren, you are just letting the JD Vance literally just whack you over and over and over. You're just taking it. You're like, I'm sorry. He doesn't want to believe you. He doesn't really care at this point. He doesn't like you anymore, and that's just the real tea. He doesn't like you anymore. That is why he's running with this narrative. He is trying to take it and run for the hills because he is annoyed with you now. He is annoyed with your presence. He doesn't want to be around you. Yeah, that's just honestly what's happening here. And I'm gonna stop talking about them now because I'm annoyed. Like, I'm annoyed. Next, we're gonna get into Ben and Sarah. First off, I'm just gonna give a disclaimer now. I won't have anything nice to say about these two because this like this pairing is a mess, a chop, whatever other terminology you want to use. No, just no. Sarah takes Ben to meet all her friends, and they're like at a coffee shop or something like that, or some sort of cafe. And basically one of the friends asks Ben how did he know that like Sarah was the one for him, and Ben basically says that Sarah is the first girl who he could envision in like a wedding dress. And I didn't like the answer. That is another theme that you'll notice as well throughout these reviews. Anytime that someone asks these men, oh, what is it that made you realize she was the one for you? How do you know that she's the one? How do you know you guys are compatible? Things like that. What about her is special to you? Things like that. They will like give these fluff answers, or they will say like the quiet part out loud. And Ben said the quiet part out loud with this, because to me that registered as, you are a time waster. You are someone who probably doesn't really date with intention ever. Because why has every single person who you've dated, who you've entertained, why do you entertain people who you do not see a future with? People who you don't really like, actually like, who you're not actually really compatible with? That is a red flag. Yeah. Like, that is a red flag. Yeah. Especially coming from a guy who is on a show where he's talking about how he's ready for marriage, he's serious for marriage. He is telling you that, every other person who he's dated, he's never been able to envision them in a wedding dress. And Sarah is there, she's just smiling like a Cheshire cat. Girl, that is not a compliment. That is not endearing. You should not be going, oh, there's no aw here. There's nothing aw about that. Like, it's like, to me, sometimes I'll be watching this stuff and I'm like, genuinely, am I just like, I don't know, like, the show just makes me feel so intelligent. Like, that's the only way I can explain it, because some of these women, you are with literal doo-doo garbage, and I can see it. I'm 20 years old. I've never been in a serious relationship, mind you. I can see it, but you can't. and you're almost 30. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. All I'm saying is just from that, it already gave to me that Ben is a poser. And the thing is as well, Ben got exposed on TikTok as well. If you want to know the tea about that, I suggest you go on TikTok, look up Story Time with Ricky. Just go through her page, look for TikToks about Ben, just season 8. I'm sure she's made a TikTok about it, but basically, if you want me to just give the TLDR of that, Ben basically is a guy who is known in Minneapolis for being basically just a piece of shit. He treats women badly, he's a manipulator. He's just not really who he says he is or who he portrays himself to be on Love is Blind, which, shocker. Everyone pretend to be shocked. When I heard him say that, it just confirmed to me more. I'm like, of course, you've been in these streets, you just manipulate, you do whatever, you do what you can to get, you know, whatever you want out of the situation. You don't actually care about any of these women that you're entertaining, right? That's what I got from it, and I'm just like, why is Sarah there just smiling? Like, what are you smiling about? What is cute about that? Okay, so now continuing into the conversation, Sarah is introducing Ben to her friends, and her friends basically, one of her friends asked, like, do you know that you guys' values is aligned, like your morals and things like that? And Sarah basically responds to it, basically being like, yeah, like I know that our morals are like aligned and things. And she was basically talking about how Ben is apparently, I can't even remember if she said he's Catholic or whatever, but he be in the church, like he goes to church, he goes to service, things like that. And how she was basically saying, oh, but you know, he assured me that that's not gonna get in the way of him being like an ally, like he's for equality, da da da. And whole time I'm just watching it, like me and my sister both looked at each other and we were just kind of like, because when did he ever say any of that?
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
Like, when did he say that? Like, who said that? Who said that? Like, who said that he was for equality? Like, this is the same man, mind you, when you asked him what is his opinions on BLM, like, what does he think about BLM, he said,
I stay out of those things. I stay out of it.
what? The same guy who is apparently for equality. Like, and I said it before, he was the one who said during his proposal, yeah, oh, I'm a show not tell guy, whatever that means. I don't understand what is going on in Sarah's mind. Like, and the thing is, the entire conversation that they're talking about this specific topic, she is quite literally just making things up. She's making up these things that Ben said, unless it's off camera he said it, but he has not said on camera, right, that he's a supporter, da da da, all these things. He just said, anytime Sarah asked him, oh, would you go to Pride? Do you think, black people should have rights? Yeah, yeah. Like, that does not mean he's an advocate or ally of anything. Like, congratulations, you don't hate black people. Congratulations, you don't hate the gays. Congratulations, you don't hate all minorities. Like, that does not mean he's for equality or he's an ally or whatever the fuck you think he is. Like, literally throughout that entire conversation, she's just making up these values and morals that Ben apparently has when he never said anything. Like, show me the proof. Show me the proof that he said that. Honestly, quite ridiculous. And her friends were eating her up, but I can't even blame her friends for eating her up because she's telling them nonsense. So now we get into another scene where they are back home from the day, and Ben is basically just saying all this stuff like, oh yeah, like I really like you, and I just really see a future with you, and you're so special to me, and da da da. And it's just a bunch of fluff and nonsense. And basically, they sit down at the couch, and I think Ben goes off to get Sarah like a beer or like another drink. And Sarah sees this, she just sees this TikTok on her phone from the girl who I was talking about, who made a TikTok exposing Ben, talking about how he is a manipulator, he is known in Minneapolis for being this terrible guy, things like that. And she basically just says, what the hell is this? Like, are you gonna explain? Like, why is this girl crying about a 4-year-old situation that she was apparently in with you? And basically, Ben's whole response throughout the entire thing was weird as hell. And I'll tell you why it was weird as hell, because he constantly flips back and forth, flip flop, between whether he remembers, whether he doesn't remember, and what story he's going with. He switches it from like multiple times. First he goes from saying, "Oh, I don't remember that girl." Then he says, "Oh, actually, we did date. We did go like on a few dates or whatever, but I ghosted her after. Oh, but actually I think she actually came to my house and we kissed, but we didn't do anything." Like, it was very strange, and it's like, which one is it? Which one is it? Do you like which one is it? Because he also goes from saying, "Oh, I haven't spoken to her in 4 years," but then also at the same time he says, "Oh, no, actually, I don't remember if we spoke in the last 4 years or not." Like, which one is it? Like, which one is it? Pick a side. After, like, Sarah keeps questioning him, because she's like, "Well, that doesn't really make sense. If you haven't spoken in 4 years, why is she, crying profusely about a situation that apparently wasn't that serious 4 years ago?" Like, it just doesn't make sense. And Ben, all of a sudden, his memory starts jogging. He all of a sudden starts remembering stuff conveniently. And Sarah's there like, "Oh, if I hear more about this situation, if more comes out, I just won't be able to trust you. This won't work." And I'm just like, why do you even need to hear any more information to already know? Like, if you are actually paying attention, listening to what he said, he already lied. Like, he already lied. He already can't get his story straight. And the thing is, as well, he knew in that situation as well, he couldn't even lie and say, "Oh, I don't know that girl." Like, he had to say from the jump, "Yeah, I believe she's talking about me." Because there's no other way for you to get out of this. So now you have to kind of think on the spot of what the story apparently is. And then clearly what he said wasn't actually adding up. So he had to actually start spilling the truth. But he's spilling half truths because he doesn't want to say the full story. So now we are going to quickly get into Devin and Virginia. Now, I said in my last review, I didn't really see it for Devin and Virginia. Because of Virginia, I didn't feel like she was giving much. I feel like my opinion is not completely changed, but kind of similar. I don't necessarily dislike Virginia, but I still can't really get a reading on her character. But my opinion on Devin is actually starting to change a little bit. I don't think he's a bad person per se, but do I think that he says certain things that make me question? Yes. So basically, Devin and Virginia have a like separate conversation. I think it was in Devin's place, where they were talking about like prenups and things like that. And Virginia was basically just talking about how she would like to get a prenup, how she believes in getting prenups. And Devin was like saying, "Yeah, like, I'm not opposed to it. Like, I would want to see the terms of it first, and then, I'll be able to sign it if we both come to an agreement," things like that. They were just talking about each other's like financial literacy, things like that, whether they have savings, whether they would have like a joint account, separate, things like that. And Devin was talking about how he has debt from like medical bills, because he had like a serious that prevented him from playing basketball, so he had to get surgery on both his hips, I think. So he still is paying off his medical bills, and then he has like a little bit of student loan debt. And Virginia was basically saying in the conversation how she would be open to paying like the debt for him. And I thought that was a little bit of like jumping the gun. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm just bad mind and bad vibes, but I personally feel like you have to remember, at the end of the day, even though you love this person, you want to get married to them, you want to spend the rest of your life with them, you also have to remember that you just met this guy. Like, you just met this guy. It's a bit quick and early for you to say, "Yeah, I don't like, I would pay off your debt." Like, that's whoa. Like, whoa, can we slow down a bit? Like, I don't know, sister. I don't know about that, because Virginia, she is an accomplished woman. She's a nurse, she has her own place, things like that. So I'm just like, you still want to be smart about this whole thing. Like, yes, it's nice that you found someone that you're in love, you want to do these things for him, but at the same time, like, be mindful. And honestly, throughout this conversation, I did sense a bit of apprehension from Devin particularly, which I didn't like, because why are you apprehensive about getting a prenup? Because I feel like at the end of the day, some people will say, oh, if you have, and you know, that's actually another thing that I'm about to get into with the whole like, oh, but if you want to get a prenup, that means, you know, you're not really envisioning the marriage working or something like that, which is like, first off, no. I see prenups the same way that I see car insurance, life insurance, things like that. You get insured on things like it's a safe proof plan. The thing is with marriage as well, it's so easy to get into a marriage, but it's very difficult to get out of one. It's very hard to end one, to be able to leave one. So it's like, at the end of the day, if you can make that process easier, if push comes to shove, why wouldn't you do it? Like, it's like, I see prenups as ensuring yourself, both parties as well, not just the person who earns more, but it's important for both parties. Like, you want to be able to leave with what you came with into the marriage. I just think that is fair. That's just how it should be. I don't know, but you know, some people disagree. But I just personally don't get the whole stigma around prenups, and I didn't really understand Devon's angle with why he was kind of a bit apprehensive at first with the prenup thing. Like, he wasn't really like enthusiastic until he heard Virginia say that, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind paying off your debt. It's just like, I don't know, you also don't know her like that. Like, yes, you two are in love, you want to get married, but at the same time, you still just met this lady. Like, at the end of the day, like, you should want to protect yourself financially also. Like, I don't know, that's just me. But okay, so now getting on into Devin and Virginia's like family meet. So basically, Devin brings Virginia over to his family's house, and basically the parents question them about what the dynamic would look like, things like that, you know, 50-50, things like that, that they were having conversation about finances. And I also noticed that like Devin's mother asked certain questions to me that were kind of a bit like, for example, she asked Virginia, like, oh, if Devin was to like get sick and he wouldn't be able to work anymore, would you be able to like support him and things like that? And Virginia was saying like, yeah, like I would, like that's the person who I choose to spend my life with. I've made greater commitments in like less committed situations. You know, I guess like that is an important question to ask, right? Like, because things can happen in marriages, in sickness and in health, right? But I also felt it was just weird in general. I think, no, sorry, it wasn't Devon's mum who asked. It was actually Devon's brother. He asked because they were like on the conversation of like how many kids Devon would want, and apparently Devon wants like 3 to 5 or 2 to 5, I can't remember. And Devon's brother then says if his parents would want to, you know, once they become older, they would want to move into the house, would you be fine with that? Like, would you be against that? Whatever. And Virginia was saying like, yeah, I would be fine with it. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to put anyone in a nursing home. Nursing homes are scary, something like that. And I just thought that was kind of weird. Like, I felt like Devon's family in general kind of bombarded Virginia with a bunch of these questions about like, oh, will you be able to support? Will you be able to support? And it was just kind of like a bit, whoa, like, I don't know, because who says Virginia doesn't have family also? Like, I'm sure Virginia has parents too. What if her parents get sick and they want to come to live in the house also? It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like that wasn't something that you asked her about. You only asked in relation to your family, like Devon's stuff, like Devon's side. Oh, if Devon gets sick, will you be able to, you know, support him? Or if Devon's parents want to come in and, you know, be taken care of, are you gonna do that? It was just kind of weird. And then after they have that conversation, because Virginia mentions that her and Devon, like, she would like to get a prenup with Devon, and her sister basically brings it up when they are having a conversation outside, because Virginia goes to the bathroom, and Devon's sister is basically like, oh, I'm not sure if I really like the fact that she brought up prenups though, because like, you know, people who bring up prenups is usually because they you know, they don't think the marriage is gonna work. And it's just like, bro, can we start with this tired ass narrative? Like, I'm sorry, not every single like tradition is something that we need to keep. Like, I'm sorry, yes, I'm gonna be the friend that's too woke or whatever. No, I'm sorry, we don't need to keep every single property of or component of patriarchy just because we are doing a marriage. Like, I'm so sorry. yes, the smart thing is when you are getting married to someone who you just met like 2 damn weeks ago, the smart thing would be to get a damn prenup. Like, I'm so sorry, yes, it would be, especially if you are a woman like Virginia who is accomplished and has things going for herself. Yes, you should protect your assets. Like, I don't understand why, like, this is the thing of, like, I don't know, it's like, it was weird how you try and take that angle. Why don't you just see it as her wanting to also ensure and protect herself? Instead, you see it as a thing of her trying to, like, her not wanting the marriage to work. I just feel like it's kind of like mental gymnastics that certain people do. It's like, no, that is not the reasoning why she wants a prenup. Like, she wants a prenup because she wants it to be a smooth and easy situation. If this, in whatever case, doesn't work out, we should both be able to leave the way we came into it. Like, what is wrong with that? Like, I don't know. I just feel like they wanted to misunderstand her, like, real bad. And it's just like, what, she said it very clearly why she wanted to do that. But anyways, but that is all my thoughts on Devin and Virginia. Right now, it's still question mark for me. I don't know if I'm seeing the vision or not. Yeah, we'll just have to see in the later episodes. Now let's move on to Monica and Joey, who I didn't really say much about in the prior review because there just wasn't really much to say there about them at all. But there was actually something that I thought I should talk about that happened in these episodes. So basically, Monica introduces Joey to her family. Joey meets Monica's family. They go to Monica's family home, and she basically like shows around the house and things like that, and he interacts with the family. They're getting along, and basically Monica decides to go outside and like have like a private conversation with her sister, and her sister basically says that she doesn't know if she likes Joey. She feels like he could just be a bad faith actor. She doesn't really know if she's on board with it. And I'll be honest, I thought that her angle one was just kind of weird because you couldn't give any sort of reason as to why you felt like that. And I know at the end of the day, yeah, you can be cautious because, you know, men can lie, men can manipulate, things like that. They can be bad faith actors, of course. But the guy literally just got here. The family seems to like him. He has a good vibe. He's not giving you any reason to think that he is being fake or being fraudulent, and yet you still think that, I don't know, some like it's something that you need to say to your sister that, oh, he could just be fake though. Like, yeah, I know you like him, he really likes you, and we've seen that, but like he could also just be a fake actor. Like, I just felt like it was bad vibes for no reason. Like, I don't know, like you can see that your sister is happy. Like, I don't know. You can see that your sister is happy, the parents approve. So I don't understand why you need to insinuate that, oh, you know, maybe you need to doubt him though. He could be lying. Like, it just kind of gave jealousy. The funny thing is that Joey actually clocked it in a later conversation that they have when they get back to their apartment. Joey tells Monica that he feels like with her sister there is some form of jealousy, and I 100% agree because Monica actually tells Joey, because Joey asks Monica, she's like, has your sister ever liked anyone who you've dated? And Monica says no, like she's never liked anyone who I've dated. And that cemented it to me because one, we actually find out as well that Monica's sister, her boyfriend is someone who used to be interested in or used to date Monica. So already that one to me was just like, that's kind of weird. But also just off of that, the fact that now we have this extra information of the fact that she's never approved or liked anyone who you've dated, I feel like that even shows more that she probably is jealous of you, because why is she complaining to you about how you are getting married before her? Because in that conversation as well, Monica's sister also tells her, she's like, oh, I'm just shocked that you're the one that's getting married first. Like, you know, I'm older, I'm supposed to be the one, I should be the one who's getting married first, not you. And it just kind of was like really weird. Like I don't know, it was a very strange thing to say to your sister who is engaged. I don't know. And it just, yeah, it really just kind of gave hater vibes. Like, you're hating. Like, that's literally what you're doing right now. You are hating on your sister. Yeah, it 100% gave jealous vibes. I mean, it's almost like you just kind of want to destroy the good thing going for your sister. for no reason, so that, I don't know, I guess you can be the one who's first up in line to get married. I don't know, which is a pretty weird mental framework. I think that's really all I have to say about Joey and Monica. And from the trailer, the teaser for like the next few episodes, I think they've dropped today actually, so I'll probably continue in that today. But I'm pretty sure in the trailer as well, we start to see that Joey starts to kind of pull away, or he's just not as invested in the relationship anymore. So I'm sure I'll probably have a few things to say about them later on, but as of right now, I think they are doing okay. I don't know, I just don't really have any strong opinions about majority of these couples. I just kind of feel like it's just kind of it could go either way. The only ones who I really feel strong about is the ones that I dislike, which are like David and Lauren. So but yeah, and then Taylor and Daniel, they seem to be doing okay. Like Daniel met Taylor's parents and that seemed to go all right, and Taylor also met Daniel's family and that went really well. So they seem to be doing pretty good. And there was also a moment as well between Daniel and Taylor's parents where he asked Taylor's parents for Taylor's hand in marriage, and I thought it was a really nice, sweet moment. You know, Daniel seems to be like a genuine guy, like a nice guy, a good person. And I feel like he's probably like one of the only men on this season who's actually genuinely here and actually wants to do the process. Yeah, I don't really have too much of a strong opinion on them yet either. You know, they're cute, sure. Yeah, I just feel like most of the couples right now, I'm just kind of like sure or I hate it. Like there's no in between. Is either what the hell, sure, or I hate it. And yeah, that's basically all my thoughts on these 3 episodes. Wow, I've been filming for almost an hour. I honestly wasn't even expecting to be filming for this long because these episodes were not that entertaining, so I'm very shocked that I actually spoke for this long. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of this video today, guys. I hope you man enjoyed. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you subscribe if you're new to my channel. Turn on your post notification bell. You can also check out all my other videos. I have another review of the episodes before this one, so if you're seeing this before that last video, you can go watch that one too. You can also go watch my other videos. I've got movie reactions. I reacted to a teen rom-com featuring Noah Beck. I reacted to a Tubi movie as well. You can go watch that too. I also have a series where I read posts from Am I Overreacting on Reddit, so you can go watch those videos too. You know, just get a feel for my content, whatever. But yeah, there's plenty of options out there. You can even go watch my video essays too. I mean, those are from last year, but like still, I see the views for some of those are going up. So if you want to watch those too, you can. Yeah, just have fun while you're here, I guess. And I'll see you, man, for my next. Yeah, I think the next video I'll probably post will also be another Love is Blind review, and then we'll go back to regular scheduled programming. Yes, okay. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video next week. Bye.